This is the 9-liter hypochlorous acid generator, fruit and vegetable purifier that we're selling at Liberty Sprayers right now. I'm gonna discuss this primarily as a hypochlorous acid generator. I'm using it as one, and the video will demonstrate how it's used. Now, this particular model, we only have a few in stock. They came in as an advanced shipment as a test model, and there was an error with the shipment. Now, if you look, you'll see that these icons, which represent different foods, which really only represents different timing. There's no other setting on it. These are just timed settings, how long the electrodes run for. So it's in a foreign language. It's not what we request, and there's an error, and we're going to be selling it as a discount. Now, the machine itself is a high quality machine. It has an oversized electrode. Now, if you see in the center, there's a silicone plug, and when it's finished, it'll drain out. Instead of having to pour out the hypochlorous acid that is generated, you remove the plug, and then the fluid comes out through this hose, through the drain. There's a drain hose, and it comes out through there, and then you could have it empty straight in either into containers or into a fogger or wherever you want it to drain into. So that makes it a lot more convenient. The plug also does not use a power adapter, but it just is a standard plug that plugs into the outlet. Now for this, we're going to do a short demonstration just to show you how it's made, and then we'll test the power and how well it worked once that's finished. Now, for test purposes, I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of salt to the mixture. Now, I decided to go with 4 because I don't have a normal scooper that I normally use. The warehouse is getting pallet racking installed, so I'm doing this off-site. But some extra spilled out, so it's probably about 4.5, maybe 4.25 tablespoons that went in there. And if you notice, we mentioned kosher salt, but for this we found that you could use canning and pickling salt. That's another salt product that doesn't have iodine in it. As long as there's no iodine, any salt that has no iodine in it, that could be used for generating hypochlorous acid. Now we're going to add some vinegar, this to stabilize the pH. And I'm going to post an article about that soon, but there's an advantage. Even if you have naturally low pH tap water, there is an advantage in adding vinegar, as it keeps it stabilized and it'll give you a longer shelf life. Okay, and now once that's been placed in, we're going to mix it up. Just to demonstrate the controls, you'll see that they represent different times. So there's 10 minutes, a little bit too close to get a good view, 9 minutes, 6 minutes, 5, 15, 8, and 15. Now, most of our larger generators we ran on 30 cycle test. This machine, the maximum setting is 15, but you could do 15 twice if you want. For the purposes of this video, we're going to run it on one 15-minute cycle, and we're going to take a test. We're going to test the pH and the hypochlorous acid levels after that. So we're going to set it on 15, then we're going to hit start. There you can see it's starting to bubble up. Those are the electrodes at work. Hard to see in the video, but if you were here, it's definitely bubbling up. And we're going to test that. Once it's finished, we're going to close the machine, allow it to do its work, and then we'll get you the results once it's done. I see the cycle is winding down. 1 minute left. And then once it's finished, we're going to be doing the testing on it. Okay, the cycle is complete. There's still some micro bubbles in there from the process. That's why once the micro bubbles clear up, hypochlorous acid is completely clear. Now we're going to be doing the testing. First, we're going to use the pH tester that we sell on Liberty Sprayers, our digital tester. I'm going to test for the pH. So now you'll see the pH is right around 5.2 to 5.3. Eventually, after about a minute, this will stop, but it's staying right within that range if I keep my hand steady. And that is actually the sweet spot for hypochlorous acid. Would be between 5 to 5.5. Now we're going to do a chlorine test with chlorine test strips. And when you have the pH and the chlorine level combined, then that'll give you an accurate reading of hypochlorous acid. So now on the strip, let's see if I could get it. It's higher than 200. Seems like it's in between 200 and 400. I would say just eyeballing it, it might be closer to 400, but it's definitely over 200, probably 300. When you get to the higher levels of chlorine, it's very difficult to get accurate readings. On the strips that have lower chlorine, then it'll have smaller increments. But once you get to the higher ratings, the 300s, 400s, 500s, then usually it goes in 100 increments. But either way, that's a very strong level of hypochlorous acid, especially considering we only ran it on a 15-minute cycle, and we used less than 1 tablespoon per 2 liters. We used a little over 4 tablespoons, and there were 9 liters of fluid in there. So you see now that it cleared up. Now in order to remove this is the last step. In order to remove this, what you would do is you'd remove the silicone plug from the middle. Now normally I wouldn't advise using your hands because organic material degrades hypochlorous acid, and hands are full of organic material, and the skin is organic material. So you could I would put on a glove just to remove the hypochlorous acid, or you could use a plastic spoon to remove the silicone plug. Now when you do this, it's important, this drains out through gravity. So if you have this down, you want to make sure that it's in a bucket. So that way, because once you remove the plug, it's going to start coming out. So I'm just going to put my hand in there, take the plug out, and that didn't work as planned, but now it's draining. Just going to put this down for a minute, or maybe not. It's done draining. So just like that, you drained it out. And if you have a backpack fogger you want to use this with, or if you have, or if you want to bottle it, you could have this go straight into the bottles. Now it does come out quickly, so I would advise not trying to put it into a bunch of small bottles, but first pouring it into a clean bucket first, or a clean tub, and then if you want to break it up and put it into small bottles afterwards, you're able to do that. Now one thing, this machine was very well made. I've been noticing it. The seams are well made, everything's well fit. It's a very high quality machine, and we do only have a few of these available at this time. One thing to point out, this was our first time using pickling salt, and it worked. The results showed that it worked, but I did find that kosher salt seems to dissolve a little quicker. So just when I was mixing it up initially to get the salt to dissolve into the water before I ran the cycle, it seemed that it would work quicker with that it dissolves quicker with the kosher salt as opposed to the canning and pickling salt. But either one works, either one's fine. If you want to know more about the product, check it out. at libertysprayers.com. We only have a few of these available right now, and the supply chain's a little backed up, so I'm not sure when we're going to be getting more in. And just a reminder, the text is in a foreign language, but it's very simple to use. Just a question of aesthetics. Again, www.libertysprayers.com. Thanks for watching.